Cool. Well, Logan, welcome to Breakpoint. Welcome to Helium Beach House. Last time we did this was, I think, the summer of 24 in New York at DePIN Summit. So
that was great. That was a great summit.
It was, yeah. Give us a quick maybe update on what's been up with you in Frictionless and kind of like what you're looking to get out of this year's Breakpoint.
It's my fifth Breakpoint. I've been to every single Breakpoint. Yeah, each one's been different. The first one was 2021, where Solana went from 4 cents to $260. That one was crazy. The next year was also in Lisbon, and FTX exploded. I think on the plane ride back.
Yeah.
That one sucked. And then the next year, everybody was depressed because of FTX blow up, and that was in Amsterdam. And then last year, it was kind of interesting. There was a lot of new faces that I didn't see or hadn't seen, and I think it was kind of just a testament to Solana growing. And now this year, I mean, this is the largest Breakpoint by far. So
is it?
It's been cool to see the progression of everyone, but I don't know, it's always a fun time. I kind of just pop around and get a chat with friends.
Definitely, yeah. And what's the latest with Frictionless? Are you guys deploying, fundraising? Where are you at in kind of the fund life cycle, and what's the latest?
We're still investing. I would say, as we were kind of discussing, we were fairly early to understand that blockchains had to scale, and the only thing that really mattered was going from low throughput to high throughput. That, now looking back on it, was only half cracked. The other thing that matters is execution. And in terms of where this is all going to end up, at least from the core underlying infrastructure standpoint, is high frequency trading. If you're not competing to build this global exchange, I think on the infrastructure side, you're essentially going to die. I don't think you can justify your valuation. Hashtag Santi is right. You need cash flows. But if you are focused on this global kind of exchange, this high frequency trading, that outcome's actually going to be in the trillions. Most infrastructure players do not know that they're playing this game, and so they're going to die. But the ones that are focused on this will most likely have a very large outcome, and that will be massive.
Right. Okay. So you're saying L1s and maybe middleware need to be focused on high frequency trading versus any other kind of blockchain application.
Yeah. It's what does the L1 do? It's essentially value movement or trading, or coordination. And I think if you kind of focus on the trading aspect, you get the coordination almost for free. I also don't think, and I've been saying this for, I don't know how many years now, L2s are continuously cooked. They're still cooked. They're not going to kind of enable this global exchange because they're bound by a single jurisdiction. Because they're a single sequencer. Even if you rotate that sequencer, it's not sufficient to be, in my opinion, on this global exchange. And so the race is really to enable global trading and global commerce. And I think you have to really have a fully decentralized node set, primarily because you don't want any jurisdiction to say hey, this is not fair to me. And if they can run infrastructure in that jurisdiction and join this network, they kind of have an equal and fair shot at the trading. But I'm extremely convinced that it's all trading. If you're not focused on trading from the infrastructure side on the L1, you're cooked.
Makes sense. What about the app side of crypto? So I feel like this cycle, a lot of crypto apps have generated crazy amount of revenue. There's a lot of buybacks that are going on. It feels like maybe the FAT protocol thesis has not played out, and I think there'll still be a lot of value generated by those L1s, but the apps on top can also generate a ton of value. So what's your thinking on the latest crypto apps and the revenues they're generating and how they play into this whole ecosystem?
We actually plotted this out. If the fastest 0 to 100 million revenue applications, not across crypto, but just in the world, are crypto apps, specifically trading. I think the trading outcome to me is again, to kind of be repetitive, annoying to the audience, it's the thing. If you're not focused on trading, pardon my French, but you're fucked. You need to be focused on trading. If you're building underlying infrastructure, applications are different.
So what if you're building an app?
So apps, generally, I think if you understand that the underlying infrastructure is focused to kind of be high frequency trading, then you can tap into that global liquidity. You can tap in to build order flow products. You can do best execution. There's a bunch of different trading derivatives to kind of build on top of that. The other half of this, of course, is DePIN and the coordination aspect. I think what I've come to appreciate is DePIN is really just used for coordination as like an implementation detail to the product. I think the idea of like what Helium originally did, where they make a token, it has a lot of token emissions, and then you can use that kind of treasury or war chest, is not reproducible. And founders should not try to do that. I feel like the tokenomics would be down only. What they should focus on from, if they're trying to build a DePIN product, is just using the blockchain as coordination globally, almost as a single API to allow people to opt into the network, to pay people, to just coordinate people globally. And they need to focus on revenue and building out just a net better product. If the goal is to make the product a crypto product and the token is the product, you're going to fail.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, to that point, I think Helium's made a lot of progress, maybe just the last like 6 to 12 months this cycle, in terms of both showing a bunch of revenue, but then also starting to accrue more of that to the token. So I think they're like a top 12 revenue generating app in crypto, over 2 million DAUs, maybe like 600K mobile subscribers, of which I'm one. You know, what do you think about the latest progress there in terms of also them being built on Solana, right? Because I think Solana is kind of trading focused, like you're saying, in terms of execution.
I've been a fan of them trying to build a better product, and I appreciate that in a sea of applications where the token is the product. And so I very much appreciate Helium kind of fighting the good fight there. My broad advice to DePIN founders is view the blockchain as an implementation detail and not the product. The product is the product or service that you're building that you can charge revenue for. The crypto aspect is just a coordination detail on the back end. It's like people use the internet, but today people don't think of like your local mom and pop shop that sells pizza downstairs. It's not an internet company because they have Uber Eats and a website. Like, it's just kind of standard, and that allows them to sell more pizza. But their primary business is pizza making. Same for DePIN in my mind. They're not necessarily a crypto company. They just use crypto as an implementation detail to make their product better.
Yeah, no, I mean, makes a lot of sense. I think like trying to obfuscate away crypto complexity, crypto jargon. You know, at the end of the day, like the Helium mobile service is really just a consumer facing product that works. They're partnering with T-Mobile. And so, yeah, they're focused on just like serving the consumer and trying to make the Helium network something underlying that the core company is using to fulfill that service. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, that's great. DePIN, I think in my mind, it's what I'm excited about is to see more of these non-traditional kind of crypto founders that have deep industry expertise in their certain domain come into crypto and say, this is a place that will allow me to build a better product or service because of the coordination aspect. It's not like I'm going to come to crypto because I think it's a get-rich-quick scheme and I can launch a token and dump it. I think we're going to see more and more founders kind of come in. My co-founder and I kind of joke more recently, once we get like almost an Axiom style outcome for any single DePIN project, I think DePIN as a category will be kind of revitalized because people will see how powerful this global coordination actually is from a user and incentive side. But I think right now the market just really wants to see revenues and people make exceptional products. And to me, revenue is just a byproduct of you made something valuable enough that people want to pay for it. So if people are not paying for your product or you don't have revenue, continue to iterate until the product, goods or services is sufficient where people will pay you.
Someone's got to have a huge outcome in DePIN. We hope it's Helium. But awesome,
Cool.
Man. Thanks for joining me here
Thank
today.
you. Appreciate it.
Yeah.